All righty. So Chelsea and Fernando, man, listen, again, thank you guys both for coming out today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, Sean.
We're going to do a lot more of those too. You guys look great walking through this house. Yeah, I really appreciate it. So, say it again.
It's all her.
So, I agree. It's all her. I agree. Okay, perfect. So listen, I want to find out, guys, like if I wanted to buy this home, okay, for $1.2 million, what do you need from me? Like, what do you need to see from me? Like, how much money do I need? Like, kind of walk me through what this process is going to look like.
Sure. So just to tell you a little bit about us. So we're a mortgage broker here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We partner with about 10 different mortgage companies. So the options for finding financing for homes, we got plenty. And a couple things you want to know, first of all, is are you buying this as a primary residence to live in it, or are you buying it as an investment property? If you're buying it as a primary residence, you've got some more flexibility. If you're buying it as an investment property, we just got some brand new lenders that will also give you some options with less restrictions, due to the opening up of the finance market. So with primary residence, what you're looking at typically with a loan of this size, right? You're over a $648,000 loan amount, so you're going to be considered a jumbo loan. Jumbo loans are a little bit tougher to get. They require typically higher down payments. They have stricter guidelines. But we've got some programs on jumbo products where, believe it or not, you can buy a house in this price range with only 10% down. If you're buying a $1.2 million house, 10% down is only about $120,000. Not a small number, but better than putting twice that much, because typical jumbo loans usually require around 20% down, which puts you at about a $240,000 down payment. So why would you put less money down when typically you need 20% to get rid of PMI? Nice thing is these programs that I'm talking about, the 10% down on a jumbo product eliminates PMI, which is for your private mortgage insurance, so it can save you a ton of money on the purchase as well.
Awesome. Fernando, thank you. And I'm sorry for getting so close to your camera right there. I wanted to make sure that people could see your eyes and make sure you're not lying to them. I'm just kidding. Okay, perfect. So, right. So you mentioned something about lax restrictions on investment properties, right? And you were kind of telling me a little bit about this off camera just a moment ago. I don't believe it. So much so, I'm going to apply for a loan as soon as I turn this camera off, and I'm going to get pre-approved for one of those because guess what? I want another Airbnb. I love Airbnb. So I'm going to let you guys write that loan for me as well. But tell me a little bit about what that program is, what it looks like, what you need to see. I think it's going to really blow these folks' mind.
So I'll let Chelsea explain.
Okay.
The
I was tired of you
loans.
talking anyway.
But the important thing to differentiate is when you're typically getting a conventional loan for a primary residence, a second home, or investment property. Conventional loans and jumbo loans require lenders to verify what's called your ability to repay.
Okay.
So that's when they typically look at your income, your employment over the last 2 years, and they use that as the basis for whether you qualify for a home or not, along with many other factors. If you are looking at this as an investment property, Chelsea will fill you in on exactly what these new loan programs are that can open up some financing options for people.
Awesome. Thank you, Fernando.
So we actually just started using a new program with one of our lenders. It's called a debt service coverage ratio loan.
Okay.
Believe it or not, they don't even need to verify income. It's super cool. A lot of investors, if you've got your cash tied up in other investments, this is super appealing. It allows you to get into the market without actually having to prove income docs.
Wow.
Allows you to get into the market without actually having to prove income docs.
Wow.
Allows you to get into the market without actually having to prove income docs.
So what paperwork do I need then?
It's actually all based off how much, it's not based off how much you make, it's based off how much the property can make. Now that's either as a long-term rental, so what they'll do is they'll order an appraiser to come out to the property, inspect the property, they'll take a look at what other homes similar to yours are renting for in the market, and they'll take a look at, and they'll give you an estimate of what the average rent could be for that property. They also have the ability in some cases to do it based off of the Airbnb potential income that the property can build. And so what they look at is how much money can the property bring in as either a long-term rental or an Airbnb VRBO, and then they'll compare it to what the mortgage payment would be on there. So is the property going to make money? If yes, then you've got a great chance of getting a much stronger interest rate on these debt service coverage ratio loans. If the property is not necessarily going to cash flow, doesn't disqualify you from buying it, you just got to make sure that if you're going to purchase a property that's not cash flowing, you got some kind of long-term upside on the appreciation, which Sean Gerald will give you a great idea on what areas are strong in Charlotte to buy in, if there's not one already because of the amount of people that are moving into the market. So lots of options for primary residence, second homes, investment properties, but you got to partner up, first of all, with the right realtor to show you the properties, find you those gems, and then you got to make sure you get a strong lender to help you out with all the financing needs.